Hey Ben, good to see you, mate.
You too. Me too.
Good to see you. We were just talking off camera there, weren't we? Creativity, and you were talking about parallels.
Parallels with football and even preparing for this podcast. You know, coming over from Singapore and having this opportunity to meet face to face. Realizing, is there any nervousness in me in terms of what, my performance in the podcast arena? Because this is the first time I've...
I don't even like the word podcast. It's like, I think it's years of doing it. It is performance. There's a red button on a camera. And even as you were saying that, I'm so tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired of any red buttons, and it's a big game. This is a big that. This one, you need to do this interview here. What have you got? I've got a big, okay, this is this pitch, and fuck it. I mean, all right.
Yeah.
I just trust implicitly in myself now. We'll just talk, and there'll be some value in there. And
I think it is ego, isn't it, that says, this is what I want to communicate.
Yeah.
I want to have the answers, or I want to give some wisdom. I want people to look and say, like, that Ben knows what he's talking about. There's some sound bites. There's all of that, isn't there? And actually just is a conversation, a genuine, honest conversation.
Yeah.
Is that enough?
Yeah. I always circle back to sport because I've lived in it my whole life, and it's such a good barometer for life. I mean, I think about this table and that football pitch, and it stands all around it, and everyone looking at everything, and it's like all playing out on their creativity, fear, risk, no risk. It's all played out. This big theatrical production, and just to be able to sit there and, only yesterday someone left me a voice note as a footballer, and he said to me, I find myself just trying to prove a point, a little bit of a point. And one of the coaching staff said to me, even though we're looking for somebody else in your position, there's nothing to prove, and just be you. I said to him, that doesn't work, does it? Just be you. How do I do that? I still want to prove. So he said, well, what do I said, just accept that if you carry on doing this, it's just going to be a disastrous 12 months. Close your eyes and just remember all the pain from the last 5 years. It's going to be worse. There'll be so many dark nights when you're just questioning everything. And I said, do you want that? He said, I don't want that. And there was a resignation in his voice. It was giving up. Good. Now give up on the proving. And he just went quiet. He went, fuck, it's all it ever is, isn't it? I think so, yeah.
Well,
but watching it come up and you're like, there, the boy, why'd you do this?
Because it's so hard to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
We spend so many years thinking and doing and trying. And actually being, is it enough? Is it okay to be Ben or to be Drew? Just us. Can we play on instinct in the arena? Can you trust that you will make good decisions? You will take chances, whatever the metaphors are on the football pitch. But in life, if I'm just me and I can be, is that enough? And I think the answer has always been no. In my life, it's like, no, it isn't enough.
Who gives you that answer?
I think it's conditioned. It's the way that we've been conditioned.
So it's not anybody's turned around and said, that's not it. Well, I mean, that's happened to us all.
But it's the mind, isn't it? The mind that's like, that's not enough.
It is interesting, isn't it? Because there's all these words like the mind and mindfulness. And, okay. And I think about ego, and I think about Buddhism, because the link to the word ego in Buddhism and this kind of idea that the Buddha sat under a tree for 40 days to separate from ego, and it's that separation constantly from just this mind,
from attachments, right? It's all the entanglements, all of the preferences we have, how we want life to be. And we were talking before, weren't we, about the things that we acquire even to feel, whether that's the clothes we wear, wanting to wear good clothes, wanting to have nice things, because if we can gather those things, then maybe we'll feel like we're okay. And we understand now as grown men that that's a futile pursuit. However, it's the way we've been, isn't it?
Yeah, and I didn't, well, we're probably like 4 or 5 minutes into this, and it's just, I know where I've just gone in my mind, and I have to share it because we discussed it earlier. You know, it's the British Open this week, golf, and Scotty Scheffler, world number one, has done a press conference yesterday, and it's kind of blown up really, some of his content, talking about, he's a Christian, but talking about how the game means nothing to him, and he realised he wins and doesn't really mean anything. And he'll have dinner with his wife and kids that night, and it's all gone. And if the game ever does start meaning too much, he'll just walk away from it. And I've seen a lot of stuff online. Wow, what a mindset, and all the mindset gurus have jumped on it this morning. And I just sat with it and thought, no, I don't think he knows what he's talking about. I don't think he's articulating it. I think it's a bit of a crisis. It's like he's wrestling with something in here, and he's felt the need to share it. One question would have been, how are you feeling going into this? I didn't hear the question from the journalist, but let's say it was, how are you feeling going into this week, Scotty? Major championship. And he's probably gone, yeah, it didn't really mean too much, right? So at that moment, the journalist's ears prick up. And
it's like he was talking about the monotony of it, right? Wasn't it? He wants to win this next tournament, and then, well, what if I win it? I'm going to enjoy it for a couple of minutes, and then the next one comes, and it was so, I sensed almost a sort of a futility of like, how long am I going to do this for? And then repetitive cycle of like, I give my best, I try and win, and then it's 2 minutes. It's like, I've worked all my life for this, and I get a little bit of pleasure, and then I go again, and almost a fatigue. Yeah. I sensed a fatigue behind it of like,
like you said, what's the point in any
What's
of it?
the point? Yeah.
And I've sat with business owners who've shared the same thing. I've exited my second company. It's another 40 million. What's the point? I think it's where, you and I have shared, I think in 2011, when I had my existential crisis really in rehab, I think I lost that attachment to things. So all the egoic things that I thought made me up, my identity, was all taken. The career went, and it's career like a footballer. That's a big attachment. I used to think I'm a number 9. I used to have this, you're a number 9 and you're a centre forward and you're a footballer. And so all these, there's 3 things straight away. And, you're quite tough. And you're a son, and you've got a house, and you're married. And so the marriage went, the career went. And in that moment, I lost everything. And then my grandfather, he passed. And then my best friend, who was like a father to me, agent, he passed, all in the space of 2 or 3 months. Like, the universe just leveled me. In that moment, of course, it's like, everything that I wanted from a kid was to be a footballer. That's finished. You never fulfilled the talent you had. You won't get another chance. Now you're a newborn father where you don't know if you'll see your daughter again. That's gone. And it was really, for me, I was absolutely left with myself. So the question is, who am I? The question is overused and very rarely articulated. Who am I? And that was just when these feelings started to come back of, I remember as a kid, I just wanted to win every race, and sports day, and I had a high self-driven, almost, psychopathic desire for pain and suffering, like give me more pain. And so you start saying, well, what is that? And I did a load of work and healing the dad not being there, and therapy, and inner child workshops. And okay, well, I've made peace with that, but his sting's still there. And I started to go on this journey with self beyond all the attachments to anything, and started to just watch things come up in me, this burning desire, and dark voices, and run him off the road, slam your car into the back of him. How dare he? Who's saying that? What is that? And that was it. You start to just go, these parts of me healed, because I was a healed man at the point that these voices are coming in. And I'm telling you a story to finish in the point of 3 years after recovery and going into recovery and then rehab and rebuilding my life. And it really rebuilt in that 3 years since 2011 to 2013, 14. That day I was out on the road bike and I got that road bike and I was at the end of the country lane and got bikes will know. Two guys go past and this voice just said, hunt them down and humiliate them. Just fucking destroy them. And I watched that voice and I've done a lot of work by that point and I was starting to watch this voice come back. And at that point in 12-step recovery circles, I started to not say, oh, hi, Drew, I'm a recovering addict. Hi, Drew, I'm a sex and love addict. Hi, I'm Drew. I stopped saying it. I couldn't believe it. I don't believe I came out my mother's womb a sex and love addict or a codependent and these labels. So I remember sitting in recovery and one of the elders pulled me at the end of the meeting. I remember it was a London meeting, it's Sunday night, North London, under one of the churches. It was a great meeting. North London on a Sunday, addicts who had been on the edge all weekend. It was a powerful meeting on that Sunday night, full of truth. And I remember coming out and I didn't share a couple of bits that evening and I'd shared something and one of the elders pulled me at the end and said, are you okay? I said, yeah, I'm grateful to be here. It was a good evening. But are you okay? I'm just sensing a couple of things in and just want to make sure you don't act out. That's why I had this moment on the bike Saturday morning, 'cause it was Sunday night. And I shared with him those voices. It sounds like the ego's coming back. And I said, is it? He said, well, I'd noticed you wouldn't say, hi, I'm Drew, I'm a recovering addict. I said, I don't believe I was born a recovering addict. Brown hair, blue eyes, spirit, some bones, some flesh. I think I came out a recovering addict. I mean, I had a name, my mum found him. Drew. Drew, we'll call it Drew. I don't think we'll call it recovering addict.
Yeah.
Like, well, what the fuck is all of this?
Yeah.
And so it was another moment. And I could see him like alarmed a little bit. Said, look, if you need to talk next couple of days, I'm here. It sounds like you're really in a dangerous place. And part of me just thought, fuck you, I'm not in a dangerous place. I'm fine. And I went and sat in a coffee shop.
Maybe the irony is you've recovered.
Well, I finished the story. I went and sat in a coffee shop and I just sat there watching London go by 11 o'clock on a Sunday night. Just sat there and looking at this next stage. I'd done loads of recovery. I was really well. My life was going. But I was reflecting on that moment on the bike 48 hours earlier. And all these flashbacks started coming in that coffee shop. I remember Mark Robbins at Rotherham when he signed me and, you know, when you play like that, you turn the game. Paul Ince, when he said to me, Colin Hendry, the old Mark Wright, the England centre-half at Liverpool, when he's a manager, he said to me, Barry Hunter, he's all these flashbacks of all these coaches and my managers over the years had championed that voice. When you do that, anything's possible. And I was told as a kid, when you do anything, world's your oyster, play for England, man, anything, you've got it. Okay, I'm a kid, well, I don't know what it is. And now I'm in this recovery process because of it, because I burnt myself down with that intensity. And I'm healed now. I'm not doing it to prove anyone wrong. I'm not doing it for money. I'm not doing it for fame. I'm not doing it for trauma. Well, I'm doing it because I'm a winner. And that's the moment. Doing it because I'm a competitor. So did I come out my mother's womb a competitor? Yes. Is my mother competitive? Highly. Grandfather? Highly. Super successful, multi-millionaire, retired at 38. So there's this, so it's like, oh.
But I think
that's the darkness.
It's the why though, isn't it? It's like, why were you doing it before? Maybe because there was an unhealed Drew. There's a part of Drew that was lacking.
Well, it was the competitor because that's always been there. But then with trauma, let's say.
Sure.
That's a dangerous.
Yeah.
Proving people wrong and anger and.
Yeah. But then the healed Drew, the more enlightened Drew is able to sort of integrate that winner.
Wow, day at a time.
Right?
Day at a time.
Yeah. And say, well, okay, well,
I can integrate it for 24 hours.
Yeah.
I can't integrate. If you said to me, you've got to integrate that for the next week, I'd be terrified. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can do a week. Because I know what comes with it in a day. I sat with a very successful man on Monday, and he's a deep guy, and he's going into Carl Jung's work. So I've spent a weekend with Carl Jung in ChatGPT. I said, well, how did that work out for you? So he's like, yeah, I've not managed to integrate any of it, but I said, we got some more knowledge, I guess. And he says, this integration piece that you've got, right? I want. Yeah. I said, yeah, but brother, I said, let's take Jung the shadow. And we're sitting in a courtyard, and it was a sunny morning, and I looked down at a shadow. Yeah. I said, there's mine. He looked, and I said, there's yours. Yeah. I said, do you know yours? He went quiet. I said, I know mine. He said, go on. I said, selfish, narcissist, cruel, a bully. Strong sexual desires. It's all in there, down there. He looked at me. I said, and for years I cut it off. I said, but look, and I got up and I started walking. I said, come with me. He's like, shit. Yeah. I said, sorry, I'm fucked. I'm really creative. So shit just comes to me. And he's like, so what are you? I said, so every day I walk with the bully, the narcissist, the selfish arsehole, the cruel, the sexual rage desire. It's all there. Yeah. I watch it. I sit with it. I don't choose to act out on any of it most of the time. Well, I don't. But I use it. Yeah. Because in there, that selfishness might be a decent trait if you're looking to scale a big business. You might need to prioritize some work there. There's a great Jung quote that Jung says, until we make the unconscious conscious, it will drive our lives and we will call it fate. And it is that, isn't it? It's like, there's that shadow there. And you know, for me in my life, I resisted it at all cost. I denied it, pretended it wasn't there. And then when it surfaced at any time, were you shamed for it? Yeah. 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 I shamed myself even. Yeah. That self-shame's the worst. Oh, yeah. Like that is not me. And that's the egoic, you know, no, for me, my life, and very strict Christian upbringing, and dad being a pastor, and, you know, being in the church my whole life. And that's the shadow has no place there. Does it not? Nah, because the shadow is would be called the devil, sinful nature, or the devil for the worst end of it. Yeah, yeah. Okay. And so actually, you know, you're free from your shadow. You know what I mean? Like and that's hard, because you're you know, as a therapist you are for years, and such a well-read and studied man, and with that incredible experience of brought up in Christianity, yet have moved through it and looked at it. And is there any teachings on Christ and the shadow? Many. Yeah. There is. Yeah, yeah. Go on. Yeah, I mean, Jesus would talk about uncleanliness, for example, you know, and in that, you know, sort of the Jewish culture, there's a lot of emphasis on what we put in our body, you know, no pork, whatever, you know. And Jesus would talk about, you know, it's not what goes into a man that makes him unclean. You know, it's not from the outside in, it's from the inside out. It's the, you know, it's what's in our heart. But is there any references to him acknowledging the darkness inside himself? Because that's the bit. I'm sure there must be. But I'm a bit like Jung and Nietzsche's work, it probably has gone like, well, let's remove that, because that could be. Yeah. Well, even just, you know, even thinking stories, about, or because I'm not well read enough on the Bible. Yeah, even Jesus talks about, you know, in the Gospels, talks about Jesus dying on the cross, and the idea that he could call down, you know, 10,000 angels and just annihilate everybody, but chooses not to. You know, and for me, there was always that. Okay. There's the power there. Okay. Like, to do dark things. Yeah, but actually, there's a revenge, and there's always, or even just thinking about Jesus in the wilderness, you know, that famous 40 story, the 40 day, you know, and actually the preparation that he went through, I feel like that was a confronting of the shadow and an embracing of the shadow. Because when I read on that, and I think a lot about voluntary suffering and trying to voluntarily suffer as quickly as possible in the day, because the day will be a day of wrestling and suffering if conscious. And is it almost that he goes, there's every part of me that wants to burn the whole Roman kingdom, revenge, anger, rage. Is that what you kind of got in that?
I picked up the humanity of Jesus. Like he feels it, he felt it all. And yet I think in religion, the emphasis is on his perfection.
Yeah.
Right? That's where we go to.
And in psychology and therapy?
What in the...
Well, I don't... I've taken you off tangent. I should just let you talk. I just got created when you said, in religion, and I just thought about your role as a coach.
Yeah.
But it was well read and studied and qualified and CBT and all that. Is it more towards the positive side?
Yes, it is. Yeah. But I think we go back to Jung. It's Jung, and Jung pushed back against Freud quite a bit in terms of a lot of the dream work. This idea that the consciousness,
unconscious and conscious,
and in the it comes up in our dreams, and and this idea that just because we're not aware of something doesn't mean it's not there. You see a car drive down the street and then it turns around the corner. We don't see it. We're not aware of it. It's still driving. It's still moving. And how much I think for ourselves we elevate the consciousness. It's like that's the truth actually, but there's so much that we don't acknowledge. And why don't we acknowledge it? And for me, it was, I don't want to acknowledge the dark stuff, the things that I could get shamed for, the things that I feel are not moral, and hearing you talking about, do you know what? I want to go and destroy those guys on the bike. It's like,
well, I was sharing a story with a guy yesterday, getting another business owner. So typically, you're a business owner. There has to be a level of risk to you and there has to be a dark shadow if you're going to found and lead a multi-million-pound business from nothing. There's got to be a level of drive in you. And he said, I just get so much from your stories. I said, he said, I know I was emailing you about the structure of these sessions, but he sent me a message this morning. He goes, the story's just... And I was sharing a story about that shadow and the confusion in me. And there was one particular match I was playing. It was Christmas. It was Boxing Day, which is always a great game. Stadium's full, and I got dropped. And I didn't know I was getting dropped. The manager made a decision in the locker room, and I was dropped. And all my family had turned up. And it's Christmas Day. We're all going to come and watch. Yeah, good luck today. I'll come out on the bench. And the minute I know I dropped, I'm like just in a dark, dark hole. I don't want to warm up. I don't want to, which is really normal. And then, staff, you okay? You're going to be part of the group today? I'm like, just let me heal, man. But there's no space, no time. Just, you're not allowed to feel anything. I really wanted to hear, you must be so fucking angry. You probably want to just torch the whole place right now, arson, whole stadium. Yeah, that's how I feel. Don't do that. You're really important to me. That's what I never heard that. So. It was 0-0. We had to. It was a much must-win game because we were threatening the top three, and it was, if we won that game, we went into the top three. 76 minutes, 0-0. It was all the opposition. They were on the attack. And I'm warming up down by the corner flag, and I heard, even though it was a full start, I heard the shout from the assistant manager, Drew, over the crowd, and I had my kind of back to the dugout. And there was one of the young players, it was his first time on the bench. He was really excited. He told me his mum and dad are there, it's the best day. And he's like, he ran over like a giddy little puppy. He said, Drew, you're going on. I'm 29 at this point. I'm a battle-hardened veteran who's just been humiliated, and the winner's bruised, and the ego's bruised. And I went, fuck him. And this young kid, bless him, young player looks at me like his dreams to get on. I'm just, he's like, what the crowd? I said, no, fuck him. And I went to him, see the scoreboard, 76 minutes. Bet I can get that to 70. I bet I can get that to 80 without even acknowledging them, or they'll come down here. He just ran off and kept doing his stretches, and I just sat with my back to the dugout. Pretended it was noisy. It was a bit of, I could use that as an excuse.
Yeah.
Got to 79. Assistant manager's running. Can you not hear me? I said, no, it's a busy stadium. Come on, will you? Yeah, no problem. So he sprinted back up. They're getting all the board ready and the iPad. And I've just strutted up.
Yeah.
Mark Robin manager's there and he said to me, how when you go on? And I said, yeah. Just hopefully score her. He just looked at me. And the guy came out, the analyst, with all the set pieces. Oh, mark him. I said, I tell you what set pieces are. I'm the biggest header on the pitch. I'll fucking head every fucking ball clear. That's all I'm going to do. If that's good enough for you, that's good enough for you. So I'm about to go on. And there was a roll of the eyes and a tut, and he doesn't leave him. He doesn't listen to anyone. And I go on, and I just turned the whole game, scored the winner, turned the whole game. And I scored the winner. I went off and just kicked all the advertising boards and smashed them all. And I'm sitting in the locker room afterwards, win the game. It was buzzing, music on, Christmas vibes, win 1-0, had to win. I'm sitting there so empty, just empty, just so empty. Anyway, players are in the showers. I'm just sitting there, adrenaline worn off really. And press guy comes in, Drew, the press want to speak to you. Yeah, I walk out there, do the press, come back in. Manager comes over. Well done when you came on today. Well done. It proved us all wrong. And I said, because that's what it is, huh? He went, what do you mean? I said, just prove everyone wrong all the fucking time. I said, just fuck off. I just walked into the shower. Oh yeah, you've always got something to say. And the shower hits me and I'm just stood in the shower. And if you said to me, do you want to be this guy? I don't want to be. I don't want to be any of that. I'm just an 8-year-old boy. I don't want to be any of this. And I was sharing this story yesterday. We're getting a shadow. And anyway, we were in the next day for a cool down because we had another Christmas period, another game. And the manager comes over. Obviously, everything's... And I'm back in my place that night with the family and they're all buzzing. What a day. And, he probably just needed a rest. Probably just had a little rest, came on. And I don't need this positive. I don't want rest. I was fucking dropped. I was dropped because I was shit last week. We should have some honesty here. I don't need you saving me. But I didn't. I smiled at that. Went to bed lonely as shit, staring at the ceiling, thinking, well, now I've been really angry with the staff. They're all going, what's his problem? I'm isolating my teammates. I've not celebrated any. I'm miserable, not overjoyed. I'm actually miserable. So this is the shadow. And I know that. It's the competitor, the wounded beast. And all of this is coming up unconsciously. And I didn't know how to manage any of it. 3 days later, we were playing again, 2 days later, because Christmas period. And obviously I knew, that's it, you're back in the team because you scored the goal. Next day, and the manager said to me, walking past, I was stretchy, he goes, why are you so angry? I went to him, because it's all it is, isn't it? You score a winner, everyone wants to talk to you. Don't play well, you're a leper. It's what it is, isn't it? Just fucking tired of it all. Can't get close to anyone. Just fucking tired of it all. And he looked at me again like level of depth that he couldn't go to, didn't want to. Well, anyway, look, make sure you're ready for the game. And, because that's all I am, Make sure you're ready for the fucking game. Fuck off. So under your breath again. But now I'm carrying anger into the game. 24 hours of anger and isolation. And I was shit 2 days later. Got subbed on an hour. And that was 17 years like that. And the reason I'm telling that is it was the shadow. Underneath it, I'm a competitor. Now, what happened in the game before, the competitor wanted it so badly that I put so much pressure on myself. I was just shit. Just overwhelmed with this internal, got to do well, no mistakes, win, score. Couldn't run, heavy-legged. Well, no manager's going to come off the pitch, give a young guy a rest, comes on. Young guy came on, did well. Now you're dropped. Now you come on with anger. Now you're the hero. But then I'm just going, but it's not. I'm intelligent guy. It's not anger. And now I've got to find. Now I've got 48 hours for another game, and I'm not angry now because I'm the hero. So I salute him. So I can't be angry. But I need anger. So the day of the game, it's like 12 hours to kick off, and I get angry. I'm forcing anger. because I need to repeat that performance. Don't know how I did it, but I did. Prove them wrong. Prove me wrong. So it's all this
conditioning, isn't it?
It's
this approval, disapproval culture that even the approval is as toxic as the disapproval.
Wow.
Because you are enough, quote unquote, when you're scoring the goals, when you're performing, when you're doing the things we want you to do, you're enough. So therefore, when you're not, you're not. And it's that environment, isn't it? It's so, and I think obviously professional football being an extreme level.
Most high.
I felt like that in the church. I felt that in a church, in a religious environment, which was like when you're coming to the meetings, for me, it was like when you're preaching sermons. I used to preach sermons, and it's like, oh, when you're doing that, then people coming up and they're asking your advice, and they're asking for your, what do you think God is saying to me? Like, and you're like, I don't know, but I've got to say something, and you're you're seen as this sort of, intermediary in some ways between a God and a person. And it's like, it's very dangerous. Very dangerous.
And all the time is unconsciousness to what any of it is.
Yeah.
I think in that moment, it was to go to that young thing, it was the unconscious, and like everyone loved that winner in that competitive environment when everything's on the line and the game's going against you and the fears in the stadium, and a guy like me comes on with fuck everything.
Yeah.
And just grabs the game and drags it that way. Which all the top players had. And I was a top player, but I never played at the top. Started at the top, went down because I couldn't control any of that. And I'm very sensitive and I'd overthink it. As where the top players change games. And because of that competitive nature. And that no one ever labeled it competitiveness. And I guess that's been the work I've done and we do. And the shadow that's cast from the competitor is a big shadow. Because if the competitor is wounded, dropped on match day, feels humiliated, is it the ego or is it the competitor? At that point, there would have been a bit of the ego. But ultimately, it's the wounded competitor, the truth of who I am. Now, the shadow cast then, when he's wounded, it's extreme selfishness, sitting on the bench, hope the guy in my position breaks his leg. Really hope the manager gets fired. Hope we lose the game. Then you're warming up like fuck them. So it's like this just extreme. It's all about me, not the team, which is shamed because it's all about the team. It's bullshit. If you've got a top environment, it's all about me. And now a great leader takes all the me's, conscious of that in him, and goes, we need we guys. I understand the me because I understand it in me, but we need we.
But if you can't access that in yourself, you can never access it in another, can you?
Which is why so many leaders in business and football can't go to the top level.
Yeah.
They can't go higher. Yeah. And I sat with a really, I've got to be careful so it doesn't give too much away. So how do I say this without giving too much away? I won't even mention the league, but it was a high league. I sat with a head coach, experienced one, who lost his job because he felt at times he struggled to identify with the selfishness of the top players. And that's the moment. And I started to share that story and you see his face. And I said, so if you're my manager and you're doing that, he said, I wouldn't be having that. I said, do you like the result? 3 points, last minute winner, changed the game, saved your bacon. Do you like that? And he just went quiet and looked at me and I said, you like that? You love that? You go back up to the boardroom, chairman's on fire. Yeah. You like that?
Yeah.
But what you want is that with a little puppy.
Yeah.
Puppies don't do that.
It goes back to the good little boy, isn't it?
It does.
The nice guy.
Sit on the bench.
Yeah.
Watch. Is it my time, sir?
Yeah.
Would you like to go on? I'd love to go on. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And I said, but you've lost your job at this elite summit. Because that part in you're denying exists or it's been shamed.
Yeah.
He said, what do you mean shame? And then we went into the wife and that was there. And
Yeah.
I've always been told I'm too intense. And
Yeah.
And by the way, for anyone watching, it's not Russell Martin. Only because it's been talked about that I work with him, and it's not Russell. It's not Russell. Similar conversations, because it's human beings.
Yeah.
At the elite level, it'll only ever be about the integration of the shadow.
Yeah. Just the projections, isn't it? We project, we see somebody else is well, I can't relate to that. I don't understand what that feels like. And well, that's because you've not gone deep enough into you. And
how's that been for you? I guess in this journey into Sweat and Courage, and me, and as an experienced therapist, which you are, and have been many years, but then this kind of peels back another few layers of the onion, doesn't it?
It does, because it becomes it's the journey from the head to the heart. And I think in my life, I'd always been in head. In professionally, thoughts, I would consider thoughts to be of higher value than feeling. I didn't know what was going on in terms of the being of Ben. We talk about human beings. I was a human doer.
What did you study?
So I initially studied sports science.
Okay.
Yeah. So sports science, and then shifted into counseling kind of later on in my career. But for me, it was very much about, let me understand the thought processes that people have. So I can help humans perform better. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I think now, and then this is the irony, right? Psychology, the psyche is the soul. Right? It literally means soul, right? But I think a lot of people in the psychology field would say it means thoughts. We're interested in thoughts. What's Drew thinking?
I don't want to be anywhere near my head. I don't know about you. I wish I'd cut it off at times and just live in the being.
And I think for me, it was like in my personal life, there was all these thoughts around, what do I need to be? Like, how do I need to behave? How do I need to speak? What are my actions? It was all around that. It was all around being moral. What's acceptable? How do I, approval. I needed validation from other people in order to be okay. I need to be looking after other people in order to be okay.
Were you ever conscious that knowledge for you and the seeking of knowledge became a way of feeling more secure?
Yeah. I mean, I would never consider myself an authority on anything. I guess.
But did the more knowledge you accumulated make you feel more secure? Yeah.
Well, I think definitely going back to the Bible knowledge, particularly, right?
Okay.
Because I remember thinking, if I memorize verses from the Bible, then like that's somehow going to be the answer. But actually, you can recite Bible verses and no teachings of Jesus, but actually, is it helping me? When my marriage ended, and I'm on my sofa, weeping, not able to go to sleep.
I've been there.
I had these Bible verses that would pop into my head. And
did they help you?
No.
Why?
At the time, because it was, I didn't change the way I felt. Inside, I felt I was scared. My life was falling apart.
So at that point, there's a lack of faith.
For me, it was a lack of, I want to feel.
Isn't that faith?
Like, yeah. I want to, for me, it was like, I want to feel God in that moment.
Yeah.
And I remember praying, God,
I was on my knees. Yeah.
If you're real, if all this is real, if there is a God, if there is some kind of higher power or whatever, now's the time I need you, because I can't sleep. I can't sleep. I mean, I'm literally, my body was like, the heart is breaking, everything, and then it was like, that's what I needed. I needed it to actually begin to connect with my body. And almost like my body was saying, wake up, like pay attention, like I'm here. And all the time it was, no, think. You can figure this out. There's a way out of here. You can think this, think that, read this, read that. But actually when it all breaks down and I just want to feel some kind of peace, I needed pain to stop. And then for me, it was like, well, what's the point of all the Bible verse, all the knowledge, it's not helping me right now. Right now, I need to feel okay.
So you needed a spiritual experience rather than a spiritual knowledge.
There you go. And that's the shift. And that's what I'm so grateful for. Off the back of something incredibly painful, there was a shift, maybe like yourself.
Did this work create a shift?
It did.
Why?
Because
you were very experienced in the world of therapy, counseling, CBT, and you hadn't had the shift.
Yeah, because it's very simple, like sweat and courage, right? Well, for me, what was courage? I think sweat is easier to define. It's hard work. It's giving your best. It's, I would say that I was a hard working guy. I've never been questioned on sort of work ethic, but it was a courage part. It was the courage to sort of say, I don't know.
If the greatest measure of courage is vulnerability.
Yeah, vulnerability.
Start to be vulnerable.
I've lost everything that I held dear. And, for the first time, I remember thinking, this is why people kill themselves.
Yep.
It's this. And again, I look back at professional experience and I could speak at length about suicidal ideation and could do risk assessments of people that, but honestly, part of me was like, I don't understand.
So you never really, I'd
never been there.
No,
I never felt yes, I could try and tap in to let me try and imagine what this person's experiencing or whatever. But it was that point I got it. I was like, this is so painful. I just want it to end. And it's interesting because the mind, the ego would jump into, even now, as I'm recalling it, I feel that the ego wants to say, but it was okay. It wasn't on the cards. So I didn't have a plan. I wasn't, I had lots of reasons for living. Why is it I feel the need to even qualify it and make it seem more palatable or more acceptable? The truth is, I was like, I don't want to carry on.
No.
I want to just go to sleep and not wake up. And I think at that point, there was a shift. It's like, okay, this is when you choose to live. Okay, there's courage needed every day. Every day to say, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if.
So making friends with anxiety, which means, anxiety is not a condition. It's extreme discomfort with uncertainty. So making friends with being extremely uncomfortable with the fact that everything's uncertain. Have to sit in that, which is faith, which is faith.
And there you go. So that becomes a full circle to faith.
Yes.
So now there's the experiencing. And
through pain.
And actually I check in with what is it that I'm sensing in my body? What is it that I'm feeling? The thoughts can be all over the place at times. They still are all over the place at times. But actually when there's a resonance in me, when I feel like I feel at home in my body. I think I'd been for many years disassociated from my body. And then that's a whole nother tangent, but going back to my childhood and some of the things I went through as a kid, I don't think my body was a safe place. I didn't want to be in here, and so there was a fragmentation. And I think it took something of the magnitude of an ended marriage to get my attention and be like, okay, I'm going to get back to the Ben, who is that. Almost just, I felt like I remember even saying to you at the time, 3 or 4 years ago when we met, like, I just don't really know who I am. I can't tell you. I don't know. It's a scary place.
Yeah.
When you actually don't know who you are, you're like, well, I'm a husband. Yeah. No, not anymore.
That's gone.
Not anymore. But like, you know, or this is what I do for a living. This is my profession, you know, or I'm a dad, or, you know, or I'm a football fan even. Men connect on like something so trivial as what football team you support. You get a whole identity based off of that, right? Or your race, or your nationality, or your gender, you know. All of it, it's like, I don't know. But to actually then kind of shed all of it and just be like, I'm just a being that happens to inhabit this body, these flesh and bones, and you know.
And here's where I go, and I'm coaching, but I know we coach, but are you being that being?
Yeah.
And that's where the courage piece. And then someone goes, well, what do you mean, am I being that being? I said, well, when you feel something come up, and Jordan Peterson talks about when you feel something, do you confront it? Then you're in your being. And then it might be, I don't really like the way she spoke to me. Oh, just leave that. I don't want another argument. Just get on with it. Or do you go, yeah, I need to confront that externally?
Yeah.
That's been my journey back to the highest level of myself, constant confrontation. And I'm not a confrontational guy. I don't like confrontation. I've never liked it. But I've had to accept the confrontation isn't external and doesn't always have to be external.
Yeah.
But I must confront the being.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I come out of being really quickly and now I'm doing again.
But
and
you
I want
can
to
only
stay
do
in
that
here.
from a healed place, can't you?
Yeah, because otherwise you don't know what you're feeling.
You don't know.
No.
And I think that's the thing in relationships. You don't know what's Ben and what's Drew, or what's the me, what's the you. You know, it's like, I don't like this. Someone's cut me up on the road, or someone swore at me, or someone's done this, or someone, is that you? Is that me? It's all enmeshed. And it's just chaos. Chaos reigns, right? Whereas when I think you know, actually, I'm okay here. I know who I am. I think that's your stuff. You can then boundary yourself, can't you? You can have, I talk about this with my kids, for example, having boundaries. Like what is, it's not okay for someone to talk to you like that. You know, even whether that be a teacher or even me sometimes, or a family member or friend, you know, but when you know who you are and you're connected to your body and the being, then you don't even need to justify it with the mind, the thought, the thinking. It's like, no, that was off. You know, we have all these expressions, don't we, in our language, even like, you know, you get a gut feeling, right? You know, like we like someone's vibe, you know, or we use all this terminology, but
he's got an aura.
An aura, yeah. But it's very, very, it's very hard when you don't know who you are.
I see many people, you know, I sat with a guy recently, he said, you know, all your thing on authenticity. I was like, yeah. What do you, it's like, I'm authentic, like 80% of the time.
80%.
It was brilliant. He actually knew the percentage. I'm like, how do you know the percentage? But I didn't.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool. And it was like, but he wanted to challenge me. I could see he was, and I was like, cool, 80-20. You know, because you can't just walk around authentic all the time. I said, no, you can't. You can't. But you've got to be careful. He said, why? I said, your 20 might be 40. It might be 30. It might be 50.
What do you think he meant? What was he getting at with that?
He knows, he sees me as 100% authentic all the time. It wasn't a job interview, but he was someone in a powerful place who I had a relationship with. He's seen the results I've had with people. But because of his powerful position, with the label on the car park space or whatever label, we're leaders. And I'm 80-20, right? Okay, so it's like a bit of a, we're going to have this gesturing ego thing. So I just went, cool. I said, just in my experience, you've got to be careful with 20 because 20 could be 40. He looked at me, I said, and in my experience, if I don't honor my being enough, I start losing instinct, intuition, myself. I said, now if you're in a position of leadership at the level you're at, I said, you need intuition, feeling, instinct. You might need to sit with it for a little while before you make a decision, but you need to be able to call on your being. All the best decisions come from here. If you go, it's not there. But I've learned the more I don't honor my authentic self, the more the connection to my instincts just goes. And he looked at me and I said, so just be careful with 20% because it might be nearer 40. He's like, well, I just walk around authentic. I said, no, pick and choose battles, but just be careful with how much.
Sometimes people think authenticity is just saying what you think all the time. Right?
Yeah, but I'm saying that because to go to your point, if you're unhealed, then it's not authentic. It's trauma coming out your mouth unconsciously.
Yeah.
I'm authentic. Called him an arsehole.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that's authentic.
No.
The guy's probably not an arsehole. He's probably just angry or a bit scared or, it's not. So it's an unhealed.
Well, it's conscious, isn't it? If you was to say I am conscious 80% of the time.
Yeah, I like that.
And unconscious 20%.
Or consciously unconscious.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's a concern, right? You like 20% of unconsciousness can do a lot of damage.
But is it unconscious or is it? I think it's a choice. You feel it coming up here. I need to push back on that. No, I won't. And there's times where you have to pick and choose your battles for sure in anything, parenting. But you just got to be careful because if you start to do that too many times, you have too many cookies.
But I think a lot of people don't know.
No.
They're not aware. They've
what the authentic self is.
For me, in my experience.
And you were you were an enlightened guy when you were unconscious still.
Yeah, but it was like I didn't have a reference point. I don't think of like, this is like, now I do. Right now, and I can definitely still drop into unconsciousness. I definitely have times where I'm not authentic, when I say things I don't mean, or I don't speak up when I could, or I lose a bit of myself, or I lose it. Like, yeah, there's that, but I know when it's happening and I can catch it afterwards and be like, okay, you didn't really mean that. And you can get back on the wagon. But if you don't have any reference point of what it's like being on the wagon in the first place, everything's just a real mismatch, and you don't know what's up and what's down. And I think that's why this work is so vital.
Yeah. Because
you need somebody to guide you through that, right? And to kind of...
And that's where we go full circle to the shadow.
Yeah.
Because it's only ever for me the unresolved shadow, whether it's been shame, and I say go to shame and fear.
Yeah.
The two thieves of self, shame and fear, layers of it. All the work I do is shame because it's the work I did on myself. And you start to see the shame and the amount of men in marriage, men in marriage, but the amount of men in marriage who are shame-based by an unconscious wife, not a bad wife, not a bad person, none of that. It's irrelevant language. An unconscious, fear-based wife, shame-based maybe herself. Her only way of feeling secure is control, which is why module one of the course is fear and control. The amount of mouse is that they're getting controlled. It was really interesting before we started this podcast. I had a coffee here. And there was a lady outside with the guy who was setting up the cameras.
Yeah.
The coffee was here. And we were talking. And she overtalked. She went, your coffee's in the lens. You might want to remove your coffee.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people say, "Well, that's really nice." Absolute control. The way she said it, the feeling I got. I need to be, it was almost like, quick, coffee's in there. I wanted to say, breathe. Been doing this it looks quite established.
Yes.
You know we've been here for over a year.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, it's a projection.
It is.
Because
she's completely unconscious. And would justify as, I'm really caring.
Yeah.
Really nice, caring person.
Yeah.
And this is where if you're married, say you were married to that particular lady, no judgment, that will be playing out everywhere. And the man will be like, I fucking hate her to her friends. It's his mates down the pub, controls the shit out of me. He'll want to break free of it all the time. See it. It's actually nothing to do with that lady because it's a very, very common thing to do.
Yeah.
And considered what a nice person.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's control.
Yeah. And a sense of like, if I was in that position, if I was about to take the seat of Drew here and do this podcast, like, I wouldn't want a coffee there. Yeah.
Because we see it with our kids.
Yeah.
We see it with our spouses. See it with the people we work with. They're going to do this pitch, but they're going to do it wrong. Breathe. In that moment, what are you afraid of? Oh, I'm afraid that he's going to ruin his... Okay. I'm going to resist the urge to say anything. Just be really conscious.
Am I speaking for the benefit of the other person or myself? Is this my need? And you and I had this, didn't we, that time when we had our dynamic where, I felt the need to sort of kind of give you a bit of an attaboy.
Yeah.
And you didn't need it.
No.
And you very graciously, communicated that to me. And
what, remind me of that again?
When you were coming back from America and you were going up to...
I was doing a talk and you were going...
And I remember saying... I remember sending you a message saying like... I'm thinking of you and it's going to be great, and I remember thinking I sent that message because...
Did you think it at the time or is when I brought it up? When you sent it, did you feel anything?
No, I generally felt like this is what I would appreciate if I was in your shoes, right? Like I'm saying, if I've flown from America, I've been away from my family, I'm landing in the airport, I'm heading up to the north of England for an event, I'll be exhausted. I'd appreciate somebody sending me a message saying like, I'm thinking of you, you're going to be great. So I'd put myself in your position based on what I would need. But actually knowing what I know of you, Drew doesn't need that. Drew was not, and
I'd be fascinated to how many people do need that.
Yeah. Well,
or would they just go, thanks, unconsciously back, but actually they're going, I don't really, it's not really touched me one bit. I've not gone, well, Ben said great, well, good luck.
Yeah.
I wonder if humans were kind of like...
Yeah. But again,
that's my... I sometimes see that as my shadow, though, of the winner, the competitive. I don't need your fucking good luck or your...
Yeah.
Is that part of my shadow to just straight into, I don't need good luck, like, I don't need anything.
Well, if you're conscious, it's different if you do need it or do appreciate it, but there's a denial of like, I don't want anybody encouraging me or whatever. I don't think, from what I know of you, that isn't your situation. I think, for you, it's almost like, there's times where I've said, I've encouraged you and I've said like, this is what I'm learning from you, or this is what I appreciate about some of your content or whatever. And it's like, it's a genuine, I just want you to know this.
But that moment was you projecting.
Was me projecting like, this is how I would feel.
I'd be afraid
in your situation, right? So therefore I was saying that to myself.
Yeah.
Right.
Shit.
Now,
I sniffed this.
But I think because of our work
together,
there was then there was a consciousness of like, okay, that's why I just did that.
I said I don't really need that. I don't appreciate you.
Yeah.
And then you there's that moment where you rock back, well, why did I
say it?
But this is the highest level of enlightenment, because that's the point where the ego goes woomph, this big wall, bang. Well, I just tried to be nice and you're out the door slammed and well, okay.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that can't be shared in 99.9% of cultures. We've got great culture here. It's bullshit. Spend 2 minutes in there. It's not great culture. There's ego everywhere. Completely unconscious. They think ego is walking around and think you're better than everyone. No, it's not that. It's any lack of vulnerability is ego.
Yeah.
Any.
And on the one extreme, you got the other. We've all been there, where our mums or our grandmas when we were young, want to make us a nice meal and sort of look after us and like, and you're just like, get off me.
But that's the bit
for them,
I've had that. I've had that with my own mum's. Like, well, I'm just trying to be.
Yeah.
But you're now fighting with ego because you feel humiliated and vulnerable, and I need to attack you rather than going, do you know what? I don't see you very much. I miss you like crazy. I miss the little boy that you used to be, and you're here as my little boy, and look at me making all this lasagna, and should we just have a glass of wine? Like, it was whatever.
Exactly.
But it's never there.
Yeah.
And this is where it's so in any relationship.
Yeah.
It's only ever unconscious.
Yeah.
The unconscious.
And it's so dangerous. And it's so dangerous when it's turned around and weaponized, right?
Which it is most of the time. All the men I've coached, it's weaponized.
Yeah.
It's weaponized. Not because she's a bad person. The dad's a bad guy. The mum I hate, but it's not about that. John Bradshaw said something profound when he shared about all the photos on his desk. He turned to being the 7-year-old version of that person: mum, nan, wife, kids. So if he was on a call with any of them, they started in their unconsciousness. He just would focus in on it and like hear it through the speakers and just be looking at the 7-year-old. So by the time he responded, it was just soft. It was they're just that. Yeah. So all these broken men I see in leadership, you weren't doing any of this at 7 years age. Just, being and conscious. And that is sweat and courage. It's this work, isn't it? To get back to the highest level of being.
Yeah.
The highest level of being.
Yeah.
Everything will come from that. Relationships will be good with kids, with spouses, with business, money. Just.
Yeah.
And I can only do a day at a time. I don't know about you. It's a brilliant thing around recovery. Could you do something today that would horrify you if I told you had to do it for the rest of your life? And I love that, because if you told me I had to be this conscious and this vulnerable and this courageous for another 20 years, 10 years, 30, however long, I'd just feel so overwhelmed. I just want to lie down in the field and die. It'd be too overwhelmed. I'd be like, doing that, like doing what I've just done for the last 8 hours. No thanks. Yeah. But if you said, can you do that till tonight? Yeah. Come on, let's go here.
Yeah.
Get up.
Yeah.
Bit of a routine in the morning to anchor myself again, ready for the next onslaught.
Yeah.
Of consciousness and courage.
Yeah.
That's all it ever is.
I feel that with my daughter, Drew. She's 18. 18, just graduated high school, about to start university. And again,
a terrifying moment.
But if you go back, I've had all these moments. I've gone back to when she was a baby. And if you'd have said that, right, Ben, you've got 18 years ahead of you. This is what it's going to take to raise an incredibly, intelligent, beautiful, courageous, independent daughter. It would blow my mind.
Yeah.
But again, it was like, okay, well, today. And bit by bit, and had this moment where we were just preparing to leave the house and we're helping to clear a room out, and just going through these like little birthday cards she wrote me and photos of us together when she was little, and and all these memories along the way, and just realizing, wow, all stacked up, and here we are at this moment, but so much that it's taken. And I hear that. I hear that kind of how scary it can be to think long term, but we chunk it down. Okay, what does it mean to love your kid today?
And these values of, they are my whole philosophy for life.
Yeah.
Can I wake up today? Am I ready to sweat? What does that mean? Every area. As a father, what does hard work look like today? Well, hard work was to, play with my son a little bit this morning after my workout, and I was tired before school, and then walk him to school and talk to him, was all in there and back. And then I picked my daughter up tonight from dance, and I need to have a bit of a deeper conversation with her. And okay, well, that's sweat. And I need to be really courageous and vulnerable with her and say, I'm scared as a father. I'm scared of where you're at the moment. I'm scared of the people you're hanging around with. I'm scared of where you might end up. So I've got to be back into courage, sweat. And my wife will probably need some of this as well in some area. My clients certainly need this. I need to be present here with you, working hard to be present, working hard to pull up the memories, courageous to just share anything down the lens, thinking, well, this will go out online and whatever, man. It just claps in the bed. Yeah. Get up, do it again. Yeah. But it absolutely guarantees success. Yeah. That's why winning is easy. Like, you will have a good marriage. You will have you will be a good father. You will have a successful business. But I can only do a day at a time. It's too much. If you told me like I had 2 or 3 confrontations this morning by 11 a.m., confronted something in here, had to confront it there. If you said to me tomorrow you're going to have 6 confrontations, I just want to die in a field somewhere. It's too much. Yeah. But I can do a day. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like the Mount Everest climbing, isn't it? Or marathon running, or whatever physical endeavor.
The next foot in front of the other.
Again, it is like I could just.
But this bit is easy. The sweat is easy. It's not easy. It's anything to build a business and all the labour and the work, and it's not easy. Nothing's easy. But the courage. Yeah. Oof. Courage is just.
Well, courage, because it's
to be vulnerable.
You are accepting how uncertain
courage is.
Life is, right?
Yeah.
And how much we don't have control. Which again is for many people, and my life was like, I need to control everything because fear's present. So okay, well, I don't want to feel the fear, so I have to control. And what if this? What if that? And to be able to let it all go and just say, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with my kids. I don't know what's going to happen professionally. I don't know what's going to happen on a football pitch.
It's funny though, because whenever I share this over the year, people would look at acceptance and letting go as sedentary. Like, I'm just going to sit in that chair. I'm just going to let go. I'm just going to have like popcorn and just let go of it all, and put on loads of weight and just let go. And it's not that. Yeah. It's I'm going to go all in on these 2 words, on myself all day. And now I'm going to let go of all outcomes. All outcomes. Will the wife like me if I push back like that? Maybe not. How will the kids feel? Slam their door, never talk to you again? Maybe. Well, that client, you're going to say that to him. You'll probably lose him, potentially, yeah. And that's now I'm going to let go of that.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's not it's the opposite of sedentary.
It's not passivity.
No. It's the opposite of passive.
It's the outcomes.
But often people think it's passive. Just let go. It's all fluffy. I mean, I've actually had head coaches in professional football who've come through my course when they were usually broken, been fired from a job, or they were in the wilderness in between jobs, and they're sort of this moment of just, I want to work on myself. Then they go back into the job, not having healed enough. All the old patterns start coming when the pressure ramps and the fear, and I've been in a conversation with one of them, and he goes, oh yeah, all your woo. One of them came through my course, went into a manager's role. 2 years later, a player that I knew was under his stewardship, getting shamed and full of fear from the guy who'd done my course. So I rang him, I said, hey brother, and I could tell straight away it was prickly. He didn't know I was going to challenge him on this particular player. I said, look, you did my course. It was at a point in your life. And I brought up this player. Well, and he just straight on the attack. And he went, all your woo-woo shit. And I just went quiet. I said, my woo-woo shit. I said, okay. I said, well, I'll leave you with that. I said, the irony is he told me my book is on the shelf behind your desk in your manager's office. I said, you might want to take it down. I said, because if it's woo-woo shit, you wouldn't want that anywhere near you.
Yeah.
I put the phone down and I just thought, wow, how unconscious, how quickly when you're in pain, I'll work on myself and the ego grows back. Fear enters the room. New job, don't lose this one. Can't afford to lose this one, lose a couple of games. Fear, ego, it's all up. And so, you know, the question would be, are you looking after yourself? Is there a strong discipline? You're up in the morning, you're meditating, you're working to be conscious of fear, detached. By the time you're standing free, you know, accepting everything. Going to get fired, but I'm going to be I'm being myself. You're not really being yourself. You're being a fear-based version of yourself. Heal the fear, then we might start seeing yourself. It's so hard.
It's like tuning a piano, isn't it? You know, the sense of if you've got an out of tune piano, and you got to, not that I'm particularly musical, by the way. I just know I know how it works, and you got to get the tension back. You know, but what will happen is over time, the chords will start to pull in different,
slacken,
and they start, you know, and so it's a regular tightening. You know, and
I would imagine the best artists in the world, if they're tuning all the time.
Yeah. And I think it's that, isn't it? With
when you work with people, it's tuning them. Yeah,
because we're talking about our associations and our to step into sweat and courage on a daily basis. It's like, what does it take to do that? We don't just. You don't just go and you don't have one tune-up, one course, one coaching session.
No.
One, you know.
It's that 3-step process that we come up with, you know, vulnerability, acceptance. Now am I going to choose sweat and courage as a choice? And these were the words that came to me in years of coaching, and it's the book that's, you know, and the worksheets at the end of every chapter to actually go do some work on. You've got to stay tuned. You've got to keep tuning.
Yeah.
So this idea that I'm going to sit with myself with vulnerability. Vulnerability doesn't have to be external, doesn't have to be shared with anybody else, but I'm going to be vulnerable with myself. What's going on here? I'm angry. I'm afraid. All right, good place to start. You know, now I'm going to do a little workbook here. I'm going to work on I'm angry at. Who are you angry at?
Yeah.
Wife. Why are you angry? The way she spoke to me yesterday. Yeah. Where am I selfish? I don't want to speak like that. Where am I dishonest? She's her, she's tired, and you didn't challenge her back. Yeah. Are you ready to confront that? Oh, shit. Next anger. Fear. Let's work through the same list.
Yeah.
I don't want to be afraid. Where are you dishonest? You need to play well.
Yeah.
You probably should be afraid.
Yeah.
So it's that vulnerability into the do you want to accept that or not accept it?
Yeah.
Probably.
As a little phrase I use with some of the kids I work with, it's very simple. Just feel it to heal it. You talk about, can you allow yourself to feel? You know, feel it to heal it, name it to tame it. Those kind of, and kids understand that. Little kids,
yeah, they do.
Little kids with big emotions. It's like, what is that feeling? Do you even know? When we talk about dropping into our body and what is the emotional reaction that's happening now? Is it apprehension? Is it, you know?
Isn't this, you know, I'm hearing this big thing around ADHD. It's kind of grown legs and kicked off everywhere. And I was labelled with, you know, OCD, ADHD, all the Ds. I'm Drew. Yeah. I certainly know with my OCD, which was linked to perfectionism, which was fear and shame, so a need to control just to get any sense of, because the uncertainty. So that's about feeling.
Yeah.
Can I name the feeling? So that's OCD taken care of. Yeah. You don't suffer with OCD. You suffer with disconnection from feelings. Oh, and you can't label them, name them, move through them.
Well, especially when there's trauma, right? There's a lot of
yes.
Early
But then ADHD, which I've seen is big, and it's almost like, I said to someone the other day, he's ADHD, and I knew him quite well, so I said, you haven't got ADHD. He said, the doctor told me. I said, I don't give a shit. I said, the doctors aren't right. It's like, not all psychologists are right, not all coaches are right, not all physios are right.
Yeah.
I said, look, brother, I told him the story about me coming out my mother's womb as an addict. When you came out as ADHD, like, it's nonsense. Is there a possibility? Because I know you. I said to him, you're a sensitive, creative guy.
Yeah.
Do you know what that means? And he looked at me, I said, it means you feel everything deeply.
Yeah.
That is creativity, just feeling it.
Yeah.
Now, that's an overwhelming place to live because I live there.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel so deeply. It makes me a great coach.
Yes.
But it's tough to carry.
It is hard.
I said, what do you do with those feelings?
Yeah.
Probably look to distract a little bit. Glass of wine, beer, computer game, something to distract. Now, if the distraction gets extreme and you can't pay attention to anything, you're like Dory out of Nemo, 6-second memory, and you might want to, but I'm not going to give you tablets.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm just going to go, you still came out of your mum's womb sensitive and creative.
Yep.
Can't label any of these feelings. Can't be vulnerable. Can't accept them. Certainly can't get to the courage to live with it. Just ADHD. And he said, this was the bit, because I forgot, I probably didn't take this for granted. It's not in my sphere of thinking every day because my work is so honest. He said, but it was kind of relieving. It was a kind of relief to have a label. And I went, shit, I said, to help me, because I can't understand, help me from your point of view. He said, well, it's a relief. It's like, oh, okay, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But is it, that's what it is?
Almost as something external then it becomes, it is.
Yeah.
That,
and we had this chat and he went, I said, okay, so once you've gone, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So there's an instant relief. And I said, you know what you've just taken me? I said, to being a footballer, I've got this niggly little groin and it won't go away, and they've scanned it. Oh, it's femoral patitis or whatever they want to call it, or patella tendonitis.
Yeah.
This is what, patella tendonitis. So, it's great. But the next question is, what are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do about it? Exactly.
And I said, what are you going to do? What did the doctors say? So I'm on these tablets. I said, oh, right. He said, what have you done for any of your OCD? And I said, just accepted it. He said, what? I said, I don't accept ADHD. And I said, I don't accept OCD, and I don't accept I'm an addict. I accept I'm a very competitive individual, which means everything's about winning tomorrow. So I'm constantly, that Formula One car, I'm always going that way. Ooh, turn the engine off for a bit here, brother. The other part of me is sensitive, so I'm feeling everything. Well, that's overstimulating to shit. I spend time walking bare feet. I sit in graveyards. I meditate. I sit in ice. Spend time with myself. I might journal some feelings. Vulnerable. What do I feel here? What's going on? Do I accept my powerlessness over that situation? Do I accept my fear around the complete uncertainty? And but the minute I choose not to acknowledge that feeling, I have to distract. There's no other way. Run off down a rabbit warren somewhere. No more rabbit warrens. Sit. I ran off and hid behind sex. I ran off behind overspending, overthinking, overtalking, overeating. I'm going off just sit. Yeah. You're not going to overeat. Yeah. You're not going to you're just going to sit.
So you medicated.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Jesus, everywhere.
But then
winning was a medication. Well, I've got that feeling. Yeah. Feeling goes.
Yeah.
Still left with your feelings.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got another game. I'll go with another win.
Yeah.
You're still left with your feelings. Yeah. So, okay. Maybe it's just hard to be you. Yeah.
And that is the opposite to the passivity of letting go and sitting there and just whatever, isn't it? It's like, to step into that and accept.
It's quite worrying. I'm like a 13-year-old daughter, and she said in the car to her mother the other day, and I got wind of it and we had a chat. She said to her mother, "You're triggering me." Fucking hell, I can imagine how I did that. You're triggering me, and used the word mental health. So I sat her down and said, I don't ever. I'd rather you say fuck than say triggering. She looked at me like that and she's heard me swear. I said, you don't ever use that word again. She went, what? I said, and you don't ever use mental health again. And let me tell you why. There's no trauma in your life. You come from a really, really exceptionally emotionally intelligent household. Yes, you'll have big feelings. Yes, life will be what it is. Yes, you carry your character. But triggering, like what is it triggering in you? So your mother setting a strong boundary, it's not triggering. What you're doing is you're angry because you want to go out and she's saying no. That's not a trigger. That's called rules and discipline because we love you. Oh, I said, and mental health, honey? You don't know the fucking first thing. And my eyes changed over. She looked at me and I said, you want to be a dancer, baby? I said, you told me you want to be a dancer. Yeah, I do. You've danced 4 to 5 hours a day since you were 6. You don't know what's coming. I said, the minute someone slides you $10 across the table and says, paying you for that show, wait for what comes. Expectation, competition, elimination. Girls in Russia are dancing, bleeding at their feet will just eliminate you in a day. I said, you want mental health issues? Go and compete for money.
Wow.
And she looked at me, I said, level up. Here's the tragedy, honey. That circle of friends you're around, weak as water. I've seen the parents playing victim everywhere. I said, you want victim? I'll drag you into the worst area of the fucking world. There's no victims in there. Like, we've got to level up here. I said, and you are going to be surrounded by weakness. And I want to show her Venus Williams film this weekend, King Richard. I'm going to show her that.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about these two outstanding, the best female players of all time.
Yeah.
Dad didn't allow any victim. Boundary, took them all away from any weakness, to the point where people said he was very controlling. I don't buy that. I think it was the highest form of love. Because you look at those girls, I've not heard one thing about any addiction issues. I've not heard one thing about any great theatrical trauma. Just really rounded women who are the best ever and have got degrees in law or something as well. I mean, she's outstanding girls. You know, so it's like just this, what is going on? And you know what hit me as I drove away? She's learning words from people just loose lip chucking these words about.
Yeah.
You got to be very careful what language you're using.
Yeah.
Because you can start to believe in the language.
Yeah. Well, especially if she's at that age.
That's my rant done.
Nah,
that hurt me.
Yeah. Yeah. If at that age there's a culture, isn't there, of like, it's someone else's issue, it's someone else's fault. It's like,
fucking hell.
You know, and it's dangerous. You know, and I've been there. Like, I mean, I wasn't 30, you know, I was 40, still feeling like other people were triggering me. You know, I got to the point where
you reached out to me, shit.
Yeah, you know.
But I look at all the 40-plus-year-old men I work with who are still getting.
Yeah.
It's unjust.
A point where you say, no, I'm responsible for my life.
Only pain got you there.
Yeah, right? Absolutely.
So with a daughter who's not exposed to pain, I have to drag her to pain.
Yeah.
What's the pain that I can drag? My strength of message is a painful hurter.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if you don't have anybody calling you to that standard, you know, and I think and there aren't many people that do.
No.
In education, in the school system, in families. You know, it's only now I feel like I've really been able to call my kids to a higher standard because I'm more conscious. You know, whereas I think, and I don't stand for, you know, there's no victimhood here.
No.
But I think, it's whether that's, I need a label, like you just mentioned there with the guy you were talking to. It's like, there needs to be a reason why I'm like this. You know, or whether it's someone else. We want to blame people. We want to blame, partners or parents or our upbringing or our church environment in my case, or whatever it is. We're gonna find a reason to blame, or someone to blame, an event or a person, because what's the alternative? Like, well, take responsibility.
Yeah,
and we go through our lives like that.
It's so funny because I deliver this message a lot, and I think the following I built on LinkedIn over the last 7-8 years when I've started in 2017, I think. I get a lot of guys message me, yeah, you're right. And all that like alpha energy.
Yeah.
Because I'm an alpha.
Yeah.
But I'm a really healed alpha with a lot of sensitivity and huge empathy and compassion. So they see the alpha and go, yeah, he's our tribe.
Yeah.
And they message me, I think, I don't want to be anywhere near that. But they attach to that piece of me, the competitive alpha. But no, I don't sign up for anything that you're talking about there. Yeah, just, if they're not good enough, fire them. I'm like, well, no, if they're not good enough, they might be afraid, or and then you see these people go, oh, I didn't think you were that guy.
I didn't think you were going to say that.
Oh, what the fucking what? So it is. It's, we're trying to achieve that highest level of drive and desire, and let's win. We're here to win.
It's again
winning.
It's not either or. It's and. Isn't it? It's the integration.
It is.
And again,
it is.
Where we started the conversation with, you were talking about the shadow and the integration of the light and the dark. Camp, you know, and the yin and the yang. You know, this sense of can we accept a guy that does say, you know, need to fire, you're not up to scratch. Yeah, that's there. Well, while also, hey, what's going on in your life? Can I love you? Can I help? Can I, you know, I've been there before. What are your fears? Let's connect. Let's get vulnerable. And I think sometimes it's seen as one or the other, isn't it? It's so,
you know, just, I had a voice note this morning. I could see it was 5 minutes. I thought, oh, that's a heavy one to listen to, but he's a client and it's part of the service as I respond to them. And I knew I got a busy few days, so I thought I'd do it now. And it was about a 3 or 4 minute walk back from I dropped Harrison at school and headphones in, listened to it, took a deep breath. And the first thing that hit me is just his broken voice, but beautifully broken. I really liked it. There was soft, humble quietness. And he's an alpha. So it was a softness, and I thought, I like this. Where's he going? And it was about a member of staff who he told me a few weeks back that he was looking to exit out of the business, not performing, but paying well, all that. And he was like, I had us scheduled in for later today to fire him. We had that 2-hour Zoom yesterday. And I just had this instinct just to call him in, office, just call him in well before the 5 o'clock and just, look, how you doing? You okay? And this guy just broke in every area, everything, family life, pressure at work. And there was a softness in this leader's voice. I left him a voice note back. He said, like, I'm just going to give him some more time and try and help him through that period. He said, I just want to say thank you for. I left him, I said, look, this work I do is not easy. The work we do is not easy. I have to be authentic. I have to try and feel and push back. And, but I love the sound of your voice because there was a softness. And I think it's where we live. But the healthy fear that needs to be there for a child or for an employee is if I don't meet criteria, I'll be gone in seconds. But there's no anger to you. There's no, it's what is. It's what we're doing here. And you shake your hand on the way out and they might be crying. And, sorry, it might not be the place for you. It's quite high performance here and good luck. And I said, I just sensed that in you this morning rather than just this. He said, because again, it would seem like it's the either or. You know, it's like if I'm going to fire someone, I need to be like an arsehole. I need to be get it in
uncompromising.
Put the time in the diary, and
you know,
how's it going, man?
Or if I'm going to be empathic and help this person embrace vulnerability, then it must mean that I'm weak in some way, and I'm not going to hold them to a standard. And then all
we do is have loads of beanbags around the office. That's helter-skelter like Google. We'd come in, it's all relaxed in here. Don't worry about the bottom line profit. We're all good.
It's both though, isn't it?
It is. But that's the shadow. It's that I'm made up of all sides. There is this incredible empath in this guy there is. But then there's this winner, and it's like, I've built this business from nothing and we're scaling. And the confusion that resides within men.
It's that Russell Crowe in The Gladiator, isn't it? It's that, I just want to go home.
And what that movie touched me.
But I got to get out and fight.
The bit that, the bit that really haunted me, and I was 19 when I saw that, and I watched it. I must have watched it 500 times my playing career. And it still is, for me, the movie I relate to more than anything, because I relate to that character, because there's the alpha winner and there's a sensitive man. And it was the bit where he'd lay out his figurines of his wife, and he'd just sit in prayer and meditate on the love for his family. And then he'd fold them up and there'd be a look in his eye, sword would come out. Well, now we've got to just go and behead a load of people. But allowing the humility And the acceptance of that side of himself, but with the winner.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
the highest
that's
level
true
of warrior.
integration, wasn't it?
It's why it's a movie.
Yeah.
Because it's a hero.
Yeah.
Maximus is a hero.
Yeah.
But it's the yin and the yang at equal levels.
Yeah.
And a huge empath, compassionate, empathetic, wants to help anyone and do the next right thing constantly.
Yeah.
Feels everything deeply. Just wants to go home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Well, that's the whole, warrior in the garden, isn't it? That's that. He was the warrior in the garden, not the gardener in the war.
Yeah.
And we don't want the wars. We don't want to be in the arena sometimes.
Yeah, I just accept that life's a constant war.
Yeah.
Just saddle up and.
But what's the alternative? You get destroyed. You lose yourself.
You can take a load of tablets and just escape from yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Good conversation.
Thank you, mate. Great conversation.